Shannon Connor, Education Program Coordinator for the Watershed Guardians Program. And I'm here to help you learn a little bit more about nonprofit finances. Here at the museum, most of our funding comes from foundation grants, individual donors, and the line item in the city's budget. When funding comes in for a special project like a student research symposium, that funding is earmarked for a specific project, and those are called restricted funds, meaning they cannot be used for anything else. When nonprofits like the PG Museum receive many different grants for different specific projects that can't be used for anything else, i.e. many different restricted funds, they use fund accounting to track and manage those grants. Fund accounting allows nonprofits to track what is spent in each specific grant. It's kind of like having a different bank account for each different grant that you have. When using fund accounting and trying to decide what project needs a fund to be designated in your book of accounts, ask yourself, do I need to know how much money is set aside for blank, like summer camp? If the answer is yes, then you probably should have a fund for it. So let's use the Student Research Symposium, for example. The Student Research Symposium was granted money by a foundation called LSUS. I need to track all the expenses that I bill to that fund. For example, I purchased food for the people attending the Student Research Symposium. I printed posters for each student, and I also purchased recognition for each student, as well as provided honorariums to each of the reviewers. Those were each different expenses, while we only had one source of income, and the income went into that fund for the Student Research Symposium. Each fund in your organization also has different liabilities and assets associated with it. At this point, I'm sure you're wondering, why do I need to know all of this? And the answer is, you're watching this video probably because you work with a nonprofit in some way, shape, or form. If you serve on the board of directors, having some degree of financial literacy is important because you should be seeing financial documents for the organization, or at least audited financials on a regular basis. You're also responsible for making sure the organization acts in the best interest of the organization and according to its mission. If you're on the finance committee or the audit committee, if you're the board treasurer or the chief financial officer at an organization, each of those roles requires a little bit more financial literacy than a general person serving on a board of directors or somebody working at a nonprofit organization. But all of these roles do require that you know at least a little bit about what's going on with nonprofit financials. Being financially literate in your role at a nonprofit means understanding that nonprofits exist to serve the communities that they're in. The reason the IRS allows people to donate to them with a tax benefit is because the money can do more good with the nonprofit than it would with the government. Nonprofits are accountable to their community and often see more money coming in to the organization when they feel they can trust the organization. Accountability promotes trustworthiness between organizations and their funders. Audits are one place organizations can maintain accountability for their financial actions. Financial documents are key to transparency amongst supporters because financial records are available to the public and are often used by funders to make informed decisions for or against supporting the organization. All of this to say, each role that supports a nonprofit like the PG Museum must maintain a certain level of financial literacy. The value of a dollar changes on a regular basis, which affects how spending decisions are made.
The past 40 years, inflation rates have hovered around 3%. However, in 2021 and 2022, these numbers were significantly higher, meaning each dollar put into the gas tank of the van literally doesn't get us as far as it used to. Purchasing food for events, paying vendors and staff members, even supplies for general operations cost significantly more than just 3 years ago.
Created using Powtoon.